what you're going to be doing is you're going to be developing these noodles throughout the skull to kind of wrap around, weave in and out of each other. So if you start with this, you're going to start with a pencil and think about how they may kind of wrap from behind. For example, you could start with one noodle and then have it kind of come across and then kind of go inside the eye socket, and then it can vary in its thicknesses and then make it appear as if it's coming from behind the skull by doing that wrap around the back, and I have it kind of wrapping in. So keep these pencil lines light. Doesn't really matter where you start and stop the next one. I have this one kind of wrapping around and going this way, off, and then over the back of the skull there. Change the thickness. Alright. So that one's going over. Now let's say I have this next one kind of coming in. It's skinny here. If I wanted to have that one go behind that, I'll just go behind it. And if I wanted to have it go over this one, I'll have it go over this one and then down and appear that it's wrapping inside that skull. Then I can just take this and I can erase the one behind it. Alright. Once I fill every area, you're going to go in with regular Sharpie and you're just going to outline the outer edge of those noodles. But you want to have them all in there first so you know which ones are going to be overlapping, which ones are going to go under. Alright, so I'll continue with this here. Comes down and goes over that one. Once I've gotten done with all the Sharpie, I'm going to go in with a thin pen and I'm going to try to recreate some of the contours of these with a thin pen. So kind of creating the striations of the noodle with the thin pen. Alright, they could be close together, they could vary as I go around them. Some of them may end up touching some areas. Alright. So you can see the thick versus the thin. And then the last step is using two colors, alright, on different noodles, using two colors to create gradation on the edge of the striations there. I'll just show it this way. So here I've got this orange. Where I know that it overlaps and weaves here, I'm going to create a darker version of that orange where it's tighter, and then just let it gradate out to the other color. So this one here, maybe I have the violet here. It's going to be darker in this area, and then I'm going to transition it out to a highlight. Although this one is overlapping this, so I might go a little bit darker. And then here it's going to be darker, and then slowly transition out to a highlight. Alright, so you're only going to be using the two colors as you work your way around, even though this has more than one. But really, this is the goal that you're looking for. You want to have the variations in the thick versus thin marker and pen, and the gradations that you see based on the wrapping of those noodles as they wrap around the skull. You're going to leave the eyes, the nose, and this area of the mouth open. You're not going to do anything in them. Because what's going to happen is, once you're done with everything, we're going to cut them out with an X-Acto knife. Alright, so you can see how it was cut away. And the eyes, the nose, and those areas are going to be cut away. And then we're going to mount it onto a piece of colored paper. Alright, so obviously I chose to mount this one on black, but you could choose to mount it on a variety of different colored papers. Alright? Good question. The teeth. What I suggest you do on the teeth is you could make some striations on the teeth just based on the contours. Alright, so you could alternate if you wanted to, or you could have all of them kind of follow the contours of the teeth just with line. Alright, that'll add a little bit more to the shape of the teeth than just leaving them white. Alright? Finished one looks like, I don't have any finished ones here, but some of the other ones I do.